What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Dez Reacts, man, back with another video. This one's gonna be kidnapping these SAS soldiers was a bad idea. I never seen this video. I don't know why it's a bad idea, but we're about to find out. And guys, your boy's back from retirement, man. I know I've been gone for like a month or two, but we're gonna be back at it. All right. Thank you guys for rocking with my videos. I've been reading all your guys' comments, you know, seeing all the feedback, and I really appreciate all the love you guys have given me. And some of you, are messaging me talking about, hey man, make another video. So you know what? That's what I'm gonna do for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend. Have a great weekend. If you'd like to support the channel, you can right here. Links right here. Links gonna be in the description. This is about to be a pretty cool video, I feel like. I'm still a little hurt that my Cincinnati Bengals lost. If you guys keep track of the NFL in America, it's a tough one, man. But here we are. Can't win them all. But I'm glad to be back, and let's get it.
When the soldiers of the British Tier 1 SAS unit stared at their television screens in Iraq in 2005, they could not believe their eyes. The footage on local news channels showed two of their comrades, badly battered, tied to a chair, their faces exposed for all the world to see. Allegedly, the two elite warriors had murdered a policeman and were now to be brought before an Iraqi court, with the worst probably yet to come. For the men of the SAS, it was clear. No matter what happened in the coming hours, they would not leave their brothers to the mercy of the enemy under any circumstances.
And, that's like a fact for almost all special forces, I'm sure, even just the conventional forces, man. You don't want to leave your boys behind because you won't let them do the same, I'm sure the SAS soldiers, highly trained, right? And desensitized, but, when you're in that situation, man, I guarantee you they were, they're scared. They're humans, man. They're feared for their life, and they knew they're gonna die. So, man, just to be in that situation, man, and survive it, I'm assuming they survived it, that's a trauma that they're gonna have for the rest of their life. Crazy.
A plan to free the hostages was hatched. However, the British government suddenly seemed not to care about the lives of their own soldiers anymore, and the whole rescue mission was on a knife's edge. What followed next was a struggle between the SAS soldiers fighting for the lives of their comrades and the political leadership, who were completely oblivious to the situation on the ground.
And that happens a lot, man. You get all these old men, in power, and the young guys are fighting their wars, right? It's all political pawns, and sometimes they don't put in the account that these dudes are human beings. These dudes are soldiers, fighting for their country, fighting for what they believe is right. And then just to have their government turn a blind eye has got to be like a slap in the face, man. That's tough. Like, they got to take into account that these dudes are humans. They got families at home, they got people that love them. And the political leaders, man, sometimes just seem to forget it. Like, it happens in America, it happens in the UK, it happens every single country, guaranteed.
It all began on September 19th, 2005, when the operators Campbell and Griffiths were conducting an undercover mission in the Iraqi city of Basra. Disguised in civilian clothes, they drove around the country in an inconspicuous vehicle to shadow a corrupt police chief who had connections to terrorist organizations. This was not just any mission, but an official cooperation with the famous British intelligence service, MI6. After the SAS soldiers had gathered enough information and were about to leave the city, they ran into an Iraqi checkpoint. Only a few days earlier, British soldiers had already arrested another police mastermind, and the atmosphere between the two parties was correspondingly tense.
Yeah, man, that's where it's really tough, because the local leaders and all that, man, like, they're tied into the Taliban, just like in Mexico. Like, a lot of their police forces are tied in with the cartel. It's same difference. Like, they're tied in with terrorists, man. It's just like, what can you do? You just have to find the little ringleaders, take them out, and hope it stops. Which, whenever someone gets taken out, another one steps in its place.
Situation from escalating even further, the highly trained soldiers initially tried to talk their way out of it. But when the Iraqi police officers refused to calm down and suddenly even tried to drag them out of their vehicle, the operators wouldn't take it anymore. They opened fire, wounding 2 of the attackers, and stepped on the gas. A wild chase through half the city ensued until the soldiers realized that they could never get away on their poorly motorized undercover car. Once again, they tried to resolve the situation diplomatically, laying down their weapons and getting out of their vehicle. However, the Iraqis beat up the soldiers and dragged them to a prison in Basra, where they forwarded their pictures to a news agency. When the soldiers from the 22nd SAS Regiment in Baghdad—
I'm sorry to pause right there, but hey, if you guys haven't, man, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Appreciate it.
saw the footage of their comrades, they immediately moved to Basra and prepared for an imminent hostage rescue. Campbell and Griffiths, meanwhile, took advantage of their excellent training, which had prepared them for situations like these. They gave the kidnappers just enough information to keep them alive, but didn't reveal major secrets. Soon their comrades would burst through the door, kill all hostage takers, and free them. Or at least that's what they thought. Because while the captured SAS soldiers were fighting for their lives, their commanders weren't reaching anyone to authorize the rescue mission. The order was to simply do nothing so as not to escalate the situation further. Any political entanglements were more important to the superiors than the lives of 2 British soldiers. The leaders of the SAS did not give up, but even the general in charge in England didn't answer his cell phone. And soon the soldiers in Iraq were joking that he had switched it off because he was playing golf. In the meantime,
that is not good for morale. Like, I'm just gonna lay that out there. Like, if you guys don't know, man, like, even military or not, athletic sports, events, anything like that, like, if your top dog seems to, not care, like, it affects everybody. Just like if you guys played on a sports team, if your coach doesn't care, like, if you feel like he doesn't care, you're just not going to work as hard. You know what I mean? You're not going to bend over backwards for him type stuff. But you got leaders that are engaged, care, show that they're there, and good, strong leaders. You're going to basically do whatever they ask. And it's not good. It's not a good look. Like, right now, they're pissed off.
American forces had deployed a surveillance drone over the prison and even offered a squadron of their own Delta Force soldiers to carry out the hostage rescue. The British appreciated their allies' gesture, but wanted to get their guys out themselves. After all, it was not due to the SAS's lack of motivation or willingness, but simply to indecisive leadership that a rescue mission had not yet been initiated. The then Colonel John Lorimer, commander of the 12th Mechanized Brigade and former paratrooper, finally took the initiative despite the lack of command and sent his men to the prison.
Good.
The tanks made their way through the narrow streets of Basra and set up a security perimeter around the complex, but initially had no permission to storm the buildings. After Campbell and Griffiths were portrayed on television as enemy spies, thousands of people gathered around the police station and tried to break through the British perimeter. Molotov cocktails hailed down on the tanks and their crews, who were completely at a loss.
Look at that image, man. Like, those dudes got fire on their helmets. Man. Put that in perspective. That's freaking crazy.
Without clear orders. Occasionally, there were even exchanges of fire. As a last attempt to resolve the matter diplomatically, the British sent 2 officers to the prison, but they were immediately captured as well. The situation continued to escalate, and the SAS soldiers had to watch from a distance as the window for a hostage rescue closed more and more. A stroke of luck would still give them a chance, and one chance was all the highly trained men needed to save their comrades. In fact, the chaos outside the prison gates had become too hot even for the hostage takers, and so the corrupt policemen decided to hand Campbell and Griffiths over to Iraqi militia. Aware that drones were overhead, they put dishdashes on the elite soldiers, long Arab shirts that made them indistinguishable from civilians from the air.
That's smart.
The lone British Sea King helicopter circling over the prison and relaying the situation on the ground to headquarters could have easily missed the hostage handover. But something made the crew take a closer look at the small cluster of people at the edge of the prison. When it became clear that the prisoners were just being loaded into a vehicle, the SAS was back on the scene. While the helicopter relayed every movement of the hostages and their captors, the special forces tailored their plan to free them. The militia placed Campbell and Griffiths in a nearby hideout, and for the British soldiers, the time to attack had finally come. The tanks in front of the police station broke through the prison walls, rolled over vehicles, and allowed the infantrymen to successfully free the captured British officers. One of the tank drivers later commented that it was the best day of his life. Meanwhile, the SAS soldiers raced toward the militia safe house, which fled in the face of the fearless warriors, leaving their hostages behind. Simultaneously, the operators blasted their way through the doors and windows of the hideout, cleared the building, and freed their comrades without encountering any resistance. The relief and joy on both sides was enormous, but from a political perspective, the incident was far from over.
Man, can you just imagine that, bro? So the insurgents, they're scared to death. They know these dudes, they know it's either one, the special forces of the British, or two, the Americans are there. And, shout out to the Americans, though, for, offering help, even though they didn't want it. Like, we got you guys back, you guys got ours. But nah, it's crazy, though. As soon as they knew that SAS was there and they're breaching doors, or, it's loud. If you breach a door, you're putting a charge on a door, blowing it up, going in. And that's probably, it's part of a tactic, man. They're scared, so they ran, left the hostages, man. W.
As it turned out, the SAS had acted independently, and the order to attack was only meant for the forces outside the prison. The elite warriors had simply not seen fit to gamble with the lives of their comrades any longer, and had made the decision to attack on their own. According to some sources, there were even indications that the hostages were about to be executed. The soldiers had saved their brothers from certain death.
They got suppressors and everything. That's a dope picture. Look at that shotgun on his hip. I wouldn't mess with him.
After everything had cooled down, the British leadership subsequently authorized the hostage rescue. However, many SAS soldiers suspect that this only happened because the rescue mission was a success. Any complications would have likely left them at the mercy of the press and military courts. However, the operators had tuned all of this out at the time of the raid because neither the end of their careers nor the possibility of being in the dock could deter them from rescuing their comrades. A brotherhood that no one else could ever understand.
Wow.
If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. We have a lot of fun creating new videos for you, but it also takes a lot of work to research and fact-check everything.
Shout out, man.
About what you think of the hostage rescue. Did the British leadership act correctly, or should they have let the SAS do their thing from the start? Whatever you think, we're eager to hear your opinion.
Yeah, man. Hey, let me know what you guys think about that. Spam in the comment sections, man. Like, do you guys think it should have been authorized a lot sooner? You think they should just be able to act on their own will? Because it's a political game, for real. So if they messed up, they would have shamed them. But because they're successful, it seems like the government acted like they just authorized it and knew about it all along. It's pretty crazy, just that footage, man. Just seeing how they raid houses and stuff, man. That's gotta be a crazy experience. Shout out to all the armed forces people in both the USA, UK, all of our allied forces, man. If it wasn't for you guys, man, who knows where the world would be at. But hey, if you guys enjoyed the content, please smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you would like to support the channel, you can. Links right here, links in the bio. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.